AITA for telling my dad to fuck off and cry to someone else because he doesn't get to blame me for his wife giving birth to a stillborn baby. My parents got divorced when I, 18F, was 7 and my siblings were 4 and 3. Dad started dating his wife a few months after he moved out of the house we'd shared. He'd dated others before his wife. We met them all unfortunately, and even worse is she was the worst one of all, but he ended up marrying her. My dad wanted us to feel like his house was the home we had and Mom's was the place we had to be. Him and his wife would taunt my mom that we had 2 moms now and Dad's wife would be the one we liked most and wanted to spend time with. Mom had stuff like that printed out in a file, and when I stopped going to Dad's house 2 years ago she let me go through it. By then I already heard stuff from Dad and his wife, so it didn't come as some big shock. By that point the tensions were higher. My dad and his wife had no kids together, and their plan for me and my siblings to like the wife better failed. Actually, none of us like her. My siblings can't stand her. My sister more so because she's the youngest, and my dad's wife really tried to turn her into a mini-her. My brother was the only boy, so got that attention, and being so young when Dad and Mom divorced there was more hope that he'd play along. They tried with me too, but I was old enough to remember life without Dad's wife, so I think they always saw me as a long shot. My siblings spend significantly less time at Dad's now. They went from 50 to 50 to every other weekend, and only because the judge ordered them to go. My dad and his wife tried to get full custody and accused my mom of parental alienation, but her file showed that was not true, and it was the other way around if anything, even if it failed, after all that my dad and his wife started trying for a baby. She had 2 miscarriages and then her 3rd pregnancy stuck. My dad was away, not sure where, when she ended up going into labor, and she called Mom, my siblings, and me to try and get me to be her birthing partner. She wanted me to take her to the hospital as well. But I refused. She begged and said Dad couldn't get in touch with Dad and she was scared and needed someone, and I told her to find someone who cared. We found out a couple of days later the baby had been stillborn, and I guess early, though I'm not sure how early. My dad wanted to see us, but none of us wanted to see him. He tried to insist my siblings be there, but they refused to go outside of the weekends that had to be. He tried to speak to me, but I ignored him. Then he made my siblings put me on the phone, and he blamed me for what happened to the baby. He said he heard I refused to help his wife, and he was a big mess, crying and yelling at me for not saving the baby and helping his wife. I repeatedly told him to fuck off and cry to someone else, and he doesn't get to blame me for his wife having a stillborn baby. When he finally realized what I was saying, he asked me how I could take that attitude when I lost a sibling. When he is still my dad and he was a damn good dad. I told him he wasn't, and he kept proving that. My mom's trying to work with her lawyer to see if all this will change the custody order for my siblings, but we're not sure yet. My siblings really don't want to go to Dad's house, but if Mom lets that happen then she'll lose custody and they'll end up in Dad's care full time.